Hello, hello, hello. It's the trade deadline. What is going on? I don't actually know what's going on. I took a nap and still a little out of it and trying to process all these trades. But I'm going through the one by one. So far, we got. Where did he go? We got Nick Vucevic in Chicago. There's a team. That needs to go down. Okay. That was up because he moved to center prior to this trade, but he'll be back at power forward, I'm guessing. Let me do that again. Let's get him in the lineup. I think that's reasonable. I'm not sure if Amino's going to play for them. Well, to be fair, yeah, to be clear, unless they're trading Markkanen, I don't think they're going to play Aminu. Valentine probably should be in the rotation above him, is my guess. Anything I can do to facilitate that? Yeah, probably just play around with the intangibles a little later, but for now, that's their team. They may have made another trade too. I know the Magic have been busy. They're going to be trading like Fournier and Aaron Gordon also. Okay, well, that's what they got so far. I'm going to deactivate his force non-starter also. Okay. And the Wizards trade Hutch, Cafford. Yeah, I don't think their rotation changes at all. They just basically got some third stringers. There's Hutch. Technically, Hutch been out for personal reasons for like 2 months. So I'm going to go through and deactivate him again. And Mo Wagner's also been out with an injury. So we'll just do that. Oh, and that gets Valentine back in. Yeah, I guess that also makes sense. Thad Young will probably be the backup 5 for the interim, or maybe technically Markkanen, or who knows? The trade deadline's still not over. Okay. Denver and Orlando have agreed on the Aaron Gordon trade. Sources tell ESPN. Among the players on their way to Orlando, Gary Harris, Gary Clark. Denver's trading its protected 2025 first in the deal. Okay, Gary Harris, RJ Hampton, and a first. So the Magic for Aaron Gordon and Gary Clark. Gordon for Gary Harris still sidelined, huh? Oh my God, they straight up don't get anybody. They just traded Aaron Gordon for 2 injured players. Okay, and wow, this is a little crazy for Denver. All right, so they get their long-term starting power forward, who I assume will start over Millsap. They are loaded at the 4. I assume we're going to be changing some of these guys' positions, like Zeke Naji is probably a long-term 5, but JaMychal Green's he was playing really well for the team, and he's got his PT blocked off, unless they're thinking of Aaron Gordon as a 3, but I don't think so. I mean, maybe they are, considering it's MPJ. Will Barton was already looking like the long-term starter at the 2 anyway, or I guess not the long-term, he's only under contract for a year, but like Gary Harris is just, he's played so poorly the last couple of years relative to his contract, so that makes sense. And I'm sure Green's going to stick around for depth purposes. He's just like the 5th big man on this team. These 2 are developmental guys, and maybe we're classifying Gary Clark as a 3 rather than a 4 on this team. He could just as easily, he's a throw-in. Anyway, there's probably not too much difference between him and Flacco Conchar, however you say his name. All right, let me just send out my trade tweet. to power forward Aaron Gordon. 2 years, 34.5 million. Gary Clark. Oh wow, he's so actually. Gary Clark's got 2 years on his deal. He totally busted out for the Magic too. So I guess Gary Clark's not even like the guy who gets cut. It's probably Conjar. I don't know. Deadline's not over. We'll see. Okay, RJ Hampton is an underrated part of this trade. 4 years, 11 million. He's on his he's in his rookie season on a first round contract, 24th pick of the 2020 draft. So they essentially get another. He's a first round pick that they're getting out of this. I mean, they've been playing Dwayne Bacon at the 2 for a good chunk of the year. Obviously, Evan Fournier got traded, but I haven't looked at the particulars of that trade yet. So it looks like Gary Harris is like the starter in Orlando, with Bacon and Hampton behind him. Obviously, given that it's a rebuild, RJ Hampton probably gets the lion's share of the time. Let's just... it's funny that the Magic have been snake bit by injuries the entire year, and they get 2 injured players in this trade. So they won't even have anything to show immediately. None of these guys is injured long term. Probably back in like 2 weeks or so is my guess. Okay. So, because Aaron Gordon's gone now, I guess we're classifying Jonathan Isaac as a 4. So we'll do that. Not that it matters for this year. And let me work some magic on the Magic. And okay. Well, it's a pretty reasonable opportunity for Chumo Okeke. Obviously, I haven't looked at what the Magic just got for Fournier, but it looks like he projects to be the starter. So at the moment, let me just put Gary Harris's contract down. 79 shooting guard. 2 years, 40 million. Jesus. I mean,
Hello.
hey, what's up? I'm actually not sure who that is. Penny Lotus Constantinopolitis. If I said that right. Alright, yeah, I kind of, I don't know. This is basically Aaron Gordon for RJ Hampton and a first. It's a 2025 first rounder, so they don't even get anything like a super immediate. But they kind of did what they have to here. Gary Harris could still turn his career around. I don't know. He's not the. He's what they had to do to facilitate a trade. Obviously, they just wanted to clear out the entire team.
Haha, you did quite well pronouncing it.
Awesome. Alright, so just to reiterate. Okay, tweets sent. Okay, let's move on to the next trade. Sacramento is finalizing a deal to send Nemanja Bjelica to the Miami Heat. Okay, Miami is sending Mo Harkless and Chris Silva to the Kings, sources tell ESPN. Okay. I'm not sure if that works without somebody getting waived. It does not, because who did the Kings just get? Kevin Gale they just picked up in a trade. He was their extra roster spot. So I'm assuming somebody else is moving in this trade. If not, somebody has to get waived in order for this trade to get completed. Harkless, we're going to count him as a 3 with Sacramento. Not that it makes a ton of difference. I mean, I didn't realize Justin James was this old, I guess. I don't know. He's only 3 years older than Justin James. He's only 27. Feels like he's been... Well, I guess he came into the league young. He came in at 19, right? So he's been around a while. But... Alright, let me just work on my tweet. Quote tweet. Heat. Kings. 74. Will Harkless. Chris Silva. Well, Heat get their guy at the 4. Silva, 1 year, 1.5 million. Say power forward, Nemanja, Bielitsa. 1 year, 7.1 million. Okay. Looks like the Heat take on a little money in this trade. Or, okay, because there's got to be another player involved for heading back to the... No. Okay, Mo Harkless, 1 year, 3.6 million. So the Heat send out 7, or the Heat receive 7 mil and send out 5.1 mil. So the Heat are taking on $2 million in salary. I'm not sure if that works under the cap. Probably just barely. I don't know. I feel like something's missing from this trade.
Clippers traded Lou Will for Rondo.
Oh man, no spoilers. I didn't hear anything. Kings have 17 under contract. I believe need to waive someone to complete it. Okay, Philadelphia is acquiring OKC's George Hill for Tony Bradley, Terrence Ferguson, and 2 second-round picks. Austin Rivers goes to OKC as part of a 3-way deal. Knicks also sent Iggy Brazdeikis to Sixers. Terrence Ferguson to the Knicks. Okay, yeah, I see the Rondo Williams trade now. It's a cute one. Philadelphia is acquiring George Hill for Tony Bradley, Terrence Ferguson, and 2 second-round picks. don't even know how to, hold on. All right, so Sixers, Thunder, Knicks. Austin Rivers, George Hill, Tony Bradley, Terrence Ferguson, and Teague. Philly gets 2 second-rounders. Huh, okay. Okay, so we gotta activate Hill. I gotta order my lunch before it is too late. Give me a second. All right, food ordered. George Hill goes to Philly for Tony Bradley. Makes sense. Ferguson to the Knicks for... I didn't realize the Knicks are sending out 2 players. No, hold on. Yeah, they did send out 2 players. Okay. Huh. Okay, well, I presume that means that they're not done yet, as they will need to waive somebody to complete that trade. If not, move somebody else. All right, so the Knicks salary dump Austin Rivers. 1 year, $3.9 million for Ferguson. Rivers. Or I guess not even. They save a little bit of money by moving on from Brazdeikis, but he actually makes less than Ferguson. I like this pickup. The Knicks, like, their G League development. They didn't even have a G League team this year. I don't think. Like I think Brazdeikis is an okay player. He just hasn't gotten any opportunity at all to play. One year, $9.5 million. Really, $9.6 million. 78 point guard. All right. I mean, so they've been running Shake Milton as a point guard for much of the year. Maybe he goes back to being a 2. They are loaded. They are loaded at the guards. I wonder if this is like a precursor to a Kyle Lowry trade. It seems like time might be running out on that as well. Tony Bradley had been playing well for the Sixers. He'd been starting in Embiid's absence. Obviously, he wasn't going to play much with Embiid healthy, but looks like Vincent Poirier up next for center minutes. I was expecting him to get moved. He probably still does. I guess also the buyout market. Maybe the Sixers are now like a sleeper destination for someone crazy.
Just got confirmed Lonzo Ball will not be traded.
Okay. Tony Bradley, 76 center. I guess the Thunder will leave in Tony Bradley because they're giving up 2 seconds. If I read the trade particulars correct. Well, I guess they're giving up. They're getting off of the off of George Hill. I guess this saves them a little money. I don't know. Like $2 million. Obviously, the Thunder have picks for days. Yeah, it's kind of a weird one on the margins. And I mean, the OKC gets another center, but I don't know. We'll see. Austin Rivers might end up playing a little bit since SGA is out with plantar fasciitis. But he seems like a buyout candidate. He probably won't even join the team.
Andre Drummond is a free agent.
Okay, that's cool. I mean, we all knew that was coming. Okay, we kind of skipped ahead because Waj broke up that trade over over multiple tweets. But Toronto's traded Norm Powell to Portland for Gary Trent and Rodney Hood. That is a good trade for the Blazers. And I know there'll be a lot of their fans will be upset to see Gary Trent go, but I mean, Powell is an upgrade. You just turned a second round pick into a first round talent. And he's more on their timeline anyway. Quote tweet. Okay. Germs, Blazers.
JJ Redick was traded to the Mavericks.
Gary Trent, 1 year, 1.6 million. Oh, that's cool. I'll break that down when I get to it. Okay. Matt Thomas was also traded to the Jazz, I saw, for a second, so that'll clear up some of their stuff. Oh, they're also getting Rodney Hood back. Okay, so yeah, that makes their depth chart make a little more sense. Okay. Oh, fucking. All right. Oh, well, hold on. They have somebody on a 10-day, right? Okay, so Henry Ellison is on a 10-day. He has to get waived in order to make this work. Oh, never mind. He doesn't. Just Matt Thomas gets traded. All right, let me do the Matt Thomas trade. Whoops. All right, get him out of here. Get Hood. So it's essentially It's essentially Powell and Thomas for Trent and Hood. I'm guessing Powell's going to play the 2 for them rather than the 3. Well, because he's going to play both positions. But for bookkeeping purposes, we should count him as a 2, just like we did with Trent. Trent basically split his time at both positions also. One year, 10.8 million. Terrence Davis. Not Terrence Davis.
Are you on PC?
Rodney Hood. Nope. This is a PS4. Rodney Hood. 1 year, 10 million? Is that actually his deal? Yeah, technically 10.04. Okay, so yeah, Hood for Powell to make the salaries work, and then Trent is the value that the Raptors are getting out of it. The Blazers open up a roster spot for the buyout market. Let me throw Ellison back on the Raptors, as I kind of prematurely got rid of him. Although I don't think he's going to stick around long term anyway. Worth noting, the Raptors did not solve their center position with this trade. But Because, yeah, so Anunoby probably goes back to the 3. I don't know how much Hood is going to play. He's been pretty brutal this year. Maybe Hood start. Maybe he plays, though. I don't know. Maybe, I guess Gary Trent might end up at the 3. We end up switching his position to the 3. Yeah, if I had to guess, Trent's probably the starter. Okay, where's the Matt Thomas trade? I actually like that. They basically got discount JJ Redick for the playoff run. Do not sleep on this trade. It may not look like much, but um, given that the Jazz basically don't have a backup point guard, Clarkson's kind of their quote unquote backup point guard. There is some room for Thomas in the rotation. He is another shooter. You can never have too much shooting nowadays. Okay, Hawks are trading Rajon Rondo to the Clippers for Williams. Clippers also send 2 future second-round picks to the Hawks in the deal. Clippers, Hawks.
Victor Oladipo has been traded to the Heat.
That makes sense, given that they didn't have the space to complete the other trade, the Bielitsa trade. So I'm assuming that the Oladipo trade might make that space. We'll see. Clippers. Trade. Not the Heat, the Hawks. Okay. Williams. Well, I'm not sure what the Clippers get out of this trade. They must have just really wanted Rajon Rondo. 1 year, $8 million. For Lou Williams. I'm not even, well, to be fair, like Rondo, Obviously, it didn't really make a ton of sense for the Hawks the moment he signed that contract. But I'm not like what the fuck does Lou Williams do on a Trae Young team? They can't play together. Maybe they're like I wouldn't classify the Hawks as a buyout team either. This is a weird one to kind of to grasp. Like this trade doesn't make sense for either team. Rondo's got a second year. Like they're basically committing to Rajon Rondo at $7.5 million per when he's barely played this year, and they want him as like their maybe he like for them to give up 2 seconds. Not that the Clippers are ever going to have high second round picks or anything, but like
Victor to move on from to Miami.
To move on from Lou Williams like this kind of indicates that maybe Rondo starts over Beverly. I don't know why. I just don't get it. I guess it reopens. Like Reggie Jackson's played well, so they don't even lose much there by moving on from Lou Williams because Reggie Jackson does a lot of the same things. Lou Williams, you can't really his flaws. We already know what they are. His value goes down in the playoffs. They have Luke Kennard, who like isn't playing well, but like long term and like for the playoffs, he's probably a better player than Lou Will. But yeah, I'm a little not really seeing this one. 2 years, $15 million. I'm not seeing this one for either team. Toronto is trading Terrence Davis to Sacramento for a future second-round pick. Okay, so the Kings now get an additional player. Okay. This would indicate that Rodney Hood's gonna play in Toronto, and definitely clearing the way for Gary Trent Jr. So we're gonna do this. Okay. As Waz reports, no Lonzo Ball trade. Sources tell ESPN he's staying in New Orleans. I expected that. Houston's trading Oladipo to Miami. And the Raptors are keeping Kyle Lowry. Source tells ESPN. Okay. Yeah, that kind of is what I anticipated. I wasn't really Kyle Lowry in Philadelphia does not make sense. I know he's from Philly, and they're contending for a title, but it's the same. It would have been the same mistake that they'd be making with when they picked up Jimmy Butler. Because what do you do with Ben Simmons if you take him off the ball? You can't play him anywhere. He needs to be the point guard of that team. So I just didn't really see.
Wait, is the deadline over?
The
I thought
Lowry
it ended
thing.
at 3.
Yeah, well, it's the deadline ends at 3, but like the NBA gives you a window to complete like the stuff that you're working on. On top of that, like Waj is reporting stuff as like paperwork has to get filed, etc., etc. So like the deadline may very well be over, but Waj is just reporting out things as he finds them out. Poirier to the Knicks too, Pete.
So can they still make trades?
I don't think. No, just like the news for it is still breaking. Boston is trading center Daniel Tice to Chicago, sources tell ESPN. Wow. Okay, let me head to Shams. It looks like Shams dropped some of these. The Orlando Magic have traded Evan Fournier to the Celtics, but we don't have any details on what the Celtics gave up in that trade. Possible that Tice is part of that, and it's a 3-way. Yeah, so there's still trades coming. We just don't have all the information yet. The Hornets are acquiring Golden State's Brad Wanamaker. That makes a lot of sense, given that they just lost Lonzo Ball for the year. I mean, LaMelo Ball for the year. And Wanamaker's has been just terrible for the Warriors. So they move on from him. This probably opens up a spot for them to sign Jeremy Lin out of the G League, which is something that they wanted to do, but they just didn't have room for earlier in the year. So I anticipate he'll be Wanamaker's replacement. Who's getting him? The Hornets.
Kyle Lowry is staying in Toronto, and Marquis Chris was traded to the Spurs.
Okay, Hornets are acquiring. Okay. Hornets, point guard, Brad Wanamaker. 2.2 million. Actually, we don't have the. Let's retweet that one.
Just 2 second-rounders for Fournier.
Raptors. Oh, okay, because they have the Gordon Hayward trade exception, so they didn't need to send anybody back. Okay. That makes sense. So they basically get 48 to replace Hayward. And Tice getting traded probably means that Tatum's back at the 4, so they're going to play 48 at the 2, Brown at the 3, Tatum at the 4. Houston traded Oladipo to Miami for Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk, and a draft swap. Okay. Rockets, Avery Bradley, Kelly Olynyk. All right, so Bielitsa is replacing Olynyk. Victor Oladipo. Okay. Does they have anybody on a 10-day? Mason Jones. When did they sign him to a 10-day? He might already be off the team, actually. Yeah, he signed a 10-day on March 11th. He's technically not on the team. Okay. Okay, get him out of here. Okay. 84 shooting guard. Alright, so I guess this means Duncan Robinson's not the starting 2 anymore. He goes back to his natural 3. Probably moving Ariza to the 4. Alright, 84 shooting guard. What's his deal? 1 year, 21 million.
He needs some actual bigs.
Ken Robinson moves. But he's Duncan Robinson so far seems like the biggest loser on deadline day, even though he doesn't get traded anywhere. He loses the most PT unless they're looking at Oladipo as a 6th man, but I kind of doubt it, especially since he plays the same position as Hero. Yeah, I guess Hero and Duncan Robinson are the biggest losers on deadline day, huh? They don't even get traded to teams that can use them. He's not here. He's supposed to be on the Heat. I'm just going to release him until I can make room for him. Ditto with Austin Rivers. Let's get him off the Knicks until we can make that work. Okay, what's your new look Heat? Avery Bradley, 77 shooting guard. He's technically sidelined. 1 year. He's probably not even going to play for the team, to be honest. He's likely headed toward the buyout market. He's 30. And Kelly Olynyk. Geez, he might be a buyout too. He's 29. 70 or no, 80 power forward. 1 year, 13.2 million. Looks like the Rockets save 2.2 million with this trade. So I believe, yeah, that's why they get a pick swap out of it, or the Heat get a pick swap out of it, right? Rockets traded Oladipo to Miami for Bradley, Olynyk, and a draft swap. Well, Miami's getting the better player. All right, so and a draft swap. Man, so Oladipo really didn't have any value league wide because they're not getting anything for him. Well, anything. Maybe Olenek sticks around. He would probably fit the Houston system, but we'll see. I'm going to deactivate Avery Bradley since he hasn't played. Oh, yuck. Yeah, I would anticipate that Tate's going to continue to start. Let's do that. Maybe we're moving Olenek to the 5. Actually, yeah, I think that solves more problems. And I mean, Kevin Porter Jr. probably moving to the 2, which would make sense. Like, I know they groomed him to be like a point guard in the G League, but he's not a natural point guard. And DJ Augustine is one of their best. I mean, Augustine's probably a buyout, to be fair. Yeah, if Augustine sticks on the team, we'll move Porter to the 2. But Porter looks like he might just start at the 2 in general. This is probably going to be a much different team in like a week. All right. Sources: Dallas sent James Johnson, Wes Iwundu, a second-round pick, to New Orleans to acquire J.J. Redick and Nicolo Melli.
Aldridge got bought out.
Well, this is a clear win for the Mavericks. So Wes Iwundu had basically done nothing the entire year. Okay, so swap there, and then James Johnson. It's effectively Redick for James Johnson. Melli seems like a reasonable bet to like play better for Dallas, but James Johnson. I guess is actually a pretty. Stan Van Gundy's gonna love this for sure. Maybe not the worst backup to have for Zion. Teach him some defensive grit, I guess. The Steven Adams, James Johnson lineups are going to be. I would hate to be on the court for those as an offensive player. One dude's just a third string. 2 years, $3.4 million, so like a long-term third string. Might even be sliding him. So he's like a 3-2. But looks like they're sticking with Bledsoe at the 2 for another year. Or for the rest of the year, at least. 1 year, 16 million. He's an actual backup 2. They've been running Trey Burke at the 2. So I guess Trey Burke back to the 1. Like, Reddick is okay. Like, they get their guy to fill Seth Curry's role from last year, right? Like, Trey Burke, like, he didn't embarrass himself in the role, but that's just not his game, so he gets to go back to his more traditional role. But they don't really have room for him to do that. You know, his playing time basically got opened up last year by Jalen Brunson getting hurt around this time. So this is kind of an awkward fit, even though, yeah, I guess the depth is good to have, but they do open up some money by swapping Melly for a Wundu for next year. And he seems like an ideal, like, you know, whatever. He backs up Kleba. And I assume that he'll shoot better from 3 with Dallas in their system. Getting passes from Luka has a tendency to increase your 3-point percentage, is my guess. But yeah, they arguably get better on the margins, but we'll see. Let me hit a refresh on Shams. Marcus Aldridge buyout. I guess let's take care of that. Back to Waj. 9 tweets in the last hour. Jeez. Okay, so Boston's trading Daniel Tice to Chicago. We don't have any details on that. Oh, okay. It's a 3-way deal. Mo Wagner goes to the Celtics. Interesting. Oh, God, I gotta deactivate him now. So Daniel Tice is gonna back up Nick Vucevic? This whole not being able to trade injured players in the fucking menu screen is something I hope they take care of for future 2Ks. I'm not really... Were there picks in this? Like, I guess this... Alright, well, I guess, hold on. Let's get Fournier on Boston. Oh, god damn it. Okay, okay, Marquis Chris getting traded to the Spurs. I'm not sure what the Spurs get back. Or what the Warriors get back, if anything. Chris is out for the year. He clearly slots into LaMarcus Aldridge's roster spot. So I guess from the Spurs' perspective, they're kind of happy. That's a pretty good, like, long-term replacement for Aldridge. Chris goes with cash to the Spurs, which saves Warriors on luxury tax for an injured player. Okay. All right, the Pacers have waived Jalen LeCue. This might be it. Well, sort of. I gotta figure out a way to get Fournier onto the Celtics. Probably preemptively start changing some positions. Maybe they just cut Jeff Teague. I can only dream. I'm gonna... just do this to Romeo Langford for the moment, just to be able to complete this. Maybe Langford goes back in the trade. That would make sense, right? Since he fits Orlando's timeline. Yeah, they could send back... Yeah, if Carson Edwards or Romeo Langford, I would not be surprised if either one of them ended up in the trade and just hasn't been reported yet, as obviously they are not getting PT anytime soon.
Jeff Teague waived.
Jeff Teague waived? Cool. Once LaMarcus Aldridge completes a buyout with the Spurs, the Miami Heat are expected to emerge as a front-runner to sign him. Aldridge plans to talk with several teams before finalizing a decision. Okay. So... No decision there yet. Jeff Teague not waived. The Magic will receive Jeff Teague. Well, Jeff Teague is being bought out by the Magic, but that is not quite the same as saying Jeff Teague waived. All right, the Magic will receive Jeff Teague and 2 second-round picks from the Celtics to complete the Evan Fournier trade. Okay, so let's do that. What am I doing here? Or, whoops, ah, shit, I did the wrong thing. Are we really buying out Jeff Teague on this team? All right.
Can you share this roster on PS4?
Yeah, I'm gonna submit it. Once I get things kind of finalized. Source says backup big Luke Cornett also coming from Chicago as part of three-way.
I'm not trying to make you in a hurry. Sorry if it sounds like I am.
That's all good. Luke Cornett. I also need to eat. I'm gonna submit before I have to go run and pick up my food because the place I ordered from doesn't deliver. Celtics get Luke Cornett. Okay, so the Celtics, the Fournier trade is part of the Hutchison. Is part of the Troy Brown, Chandler Hutchison stuff from earlier. So that's a three-way deal. So the Celtics are getting Luke Cornett from Bulls. So okay, so the Daniel Tice stuff, yeah, that's all okay. Things make a little more sense now. Who else are they sending out? Javonte Green. Trade. Oh, it's actually a four-way deal. Mo Wagner. They get Wagner, Cornett, and Fournier. All right. Okay, so with Jeff Teague out, I think we're moving Peyton Pritchard to the 1. the 3 is still a position of need for this team. Although technically, like, Tatum's their backup 3. Yeah, they still could use another 4. I don't think Cornette's gonna stick. Yeah, one of these new guys incoming is probably getting cut, unless they're gonna view Wagner as a 4, which I don't think is a wise decision. I hope they don't view one of these guys as a 4. I guess these guys aren't the worst. I don't know. Ojole's probably more of a 3 with this trade. Okay, I like what Chicago did here. And the Magic just salary dumped everybody.
Hi.
Hey, what's up, Luke? Waj, let's reload Waj. Waj has nothing since the Aldridge news. Looks like we're caught up. I'm gonna skim Roto World. And see if I missed something on the margins anywhere. Oh, Terrence Davis. I gotta make room for him on the Kings. I guess let's search on Twitter. Kings Wave?
Kings Wave Jabari Parker.
Any confirmation on that? I'm assuming, well, I guess the Kings have 17 players on roster. They would need to waive 2 players. I'm guessing the other one is Hassan Whiteside.
James Ham on Twitter.
Um,
Nico Melli for H.H. Reddick.
yeah, I got that.
Autocorrect.
Because they got Silva from the... I'm just going to waive him. Or, okay, let me not... I'm going to wait until the news breaks.
What is the roster called?
This is the real 2K roster.
Miles Davis for Paul Rudd. He is still publishing the roster, I think. No, but honestly, will this roster be available on Series X?
Silva. And,
Probably only on PS4. And maybe PS5.
I already cut, I cut Jabari already. Is that true? Kevin Gailey at the 4? Hold on. While Mark Bagley sidelined? I would guess maybe Barnes at the 4. Yeah, Barnes maybe sliding over to the 4, and like they have the depth at the 3 to they just
when
start
will this be available?
regardless. Whenever I hit the submit button.
Barnes def at 4.
Let's see. I'm just putting the finishing touches on it. Oh, Terrence Davis. I gotta add him. Okay, so yeah, definitely Barnes at the 4. It's looking like if they have this many 3s. Although maybe I'm supposed to count Harkless as a 4 also. I don't know if we're counting maybe David to the 2, Hale to the 3, and Halliburton to the starting lineup. That's another possibility.
Are you going to edit the draft picks?
No, you can only do that
from the trade deadline.
I don't actually know how to do that.
Oh.
You would have to. You can do that on PC, I think, but I don't know if there's any way to do that.
That's okay.
Without, because you have to start a season in order to do that. You can't. Yeah, that's the one drawback, is my draft picks are going to be all out of whack in this roster, but you know, kind of is what it is.
How can I download?
Vincent Poirier on the Knicks. Well, I should just be on the top 5 downloads for PS4 anyway. Like, you don't really need to search me. Just, Real 2K Insider is my gamer tag. Real 2K roster is the roster name.
Thanks.
All right, so he's a clear cut. No questions asked. Ferguson probably too. Maybe, yeah, like, if they're not playing Kevin Knox, they're not playing Terrence Ferguson. Maybe they're counting him as the third string shooting guard. I don't know. But, oh, wow. Frank Ntilikina and Kevin Knox made it through another trade deadline.
I actually expect them to play Terrence a little.
We'll see. I mean, I don't. It's Thibs. Thibs has a short rotation.
Is it Jack Move 916 or Real to consider?
Real 2K Insider.
Tibbs is a weirdo.
I mean, he's a weirdo that's got them the Knicks playing the best they've played all decade. Yeah, I think I got everything. All right, refresh Shams. And refresh wash. Nothing. Okay, I think that was our deadline. Oh, I guess let me cut Drummond. What's that buyout market look like? Well, so far there's just these guys plus Hassan Whiteside. Okay, yeah, let's submit. Yeah, so that's the file name. I'm gonna grab my lunch/dinner, do a little fine-tuning to my all my documents offline, and then maybe be back later tonight to do a full breakdown of everything. You can follow me at Real2K Insider on Twitter. Thanks, guys, for watching, and you know it's been an interesting deadline. Keep an eye out on the buyout market.
What is the roster called? Hey.
Okay. There we go. Just search Real 2K and it'll pop up. Real 2K. Yep, it's update is live. Have fun, guys. I'll see you in a bit.